I think 2-tower chimps at its core is the ultimate challenge in resource management. You can only choose 2 monkeys that have to synergize perfectly. If you can't even pop a single type of balloon, your run ends. You have to treasure every single ability, because it could be the deciding factor in winning a run. It's the pinnacle of creativity, skill, and game knowledge. I sure hope Ninja Kiwi doesn't ruin it. Hey, what day is it again? March 11th, 2021? Oh boy, version 24. I wonder what they added. For those that aren't aware, 2TC is one of BTD6's challenges that requires you to place 2 towers in the hardest game mode. So logically, you would want the most versatile towers that can give the most value for making up 50% of the defense. It's a pretty hard but well documented challenge, with a multitude of different strategies already existing. But what if you could bring it down further? What if you could complete chimps with 1 tower? It seems impossible, right? Well, that's because for its first 3 years of existence, Ninja Kiwi made sure that there was no tower powerful enough to complete chimps on its own. After all, that tower would have to be completely broken. And as long as Ninja Kiwi's playtesting their towers, no tomfoolery should occur. A tower that was good enough to do a 1TC had to meet the following criteria. It had to pop every single type of balloon: lead, camo, purple, pink, and it has to cost $650 or cheaper, so it can be afforded on the first round. It also needs to be quick enough, yet do enough damage to be able to pop every single type of blimp. Most of the towers that do enough damage are locked behind a paywall, and most of the cheaper towers just aren't good enough. If any tower meets this requirement, they would easily be the best tower in the game, which would go against everything BTD6 stands for because, you know, this is a game about using multiple towers, sometimes. Now in Update 24, they added a hero called Sauda. She had a sword that could pop most things in a pretty short range. In her base form, she didn't have any lead or frozen popping power, unless you use her ability, which can pop every single type of balloon. On release, I'm not gonna lie, she was pretty busted. She was a really good 2TC tower, pairing well with things that can pop lead, like a bomb blitz. Bam, you just invented like 9 million different 2TC combos, but whatever. No 1-tower chimp shenanigans. Seems balanced to me. You see, they also added a new beginner map called Resort. Its gimmick is that balloons go around the circle a bunch of times, which is really good for people that aren't really experienced at BTD6, since even the weakest of towers can be strong on this map. But what if you use Sauda? Her short range should pair well with this looping track, right? Well, on paper, yes. In gameplay, absolutely yes. Using money to upgrade Sauda and with incredibly sweaty micro, you could in fact beat chimps with only 1 tower. Ninja Kiwi was quick to realize that maybe they made Sauda a little too powerful and neutered her. Hey, wait a minute, how does that work? It's important to note that if a tower can do 1TC, it can no longer be used in a 2TC, because logically every single tower can be used in conjunction with it. 2 heroes later, we get a little guy named Geraldo. He's kind of the opposite of Sauda. His base attack was not the strong suit. He can't pop Moabs, leads, or purples on his own, but what he did have was the shop. You see, originally Geraldo was intended to be a support hero, not doing the damage by himself, but boosting other towers' damages. He could do this from the pickles, Jerry's fire, or glue. However, he did have a little bit of DPS capability. If you bought 4 rabbits, it combines into a killer bunny, which can one-shot ceramics. You could also buy a temporary genie that lasted for 3 rounds and can even handle DDTs. So people were quickly realizing, hey, what if Geraldo was the defense? The only issue with Geraldo doing 1TC is that he can't pop lead until really late. Jerry's fire isn't unlocked by 28, and nothing in the shop can pop lead in time. So you gotta think outside the box. In Update 31, alongside Geraldo, we also got a map called Scrapyard. It was another beginner track, because it had this button that could pop balloons on the track. It doesn't do a lot of DPS, but I guess it is useful. But wait a minute, what happens if you put a lead balloon under it? It pops? But there's no way in a chimps run you could fit all of them under the crusher at the same time. There's an extremely long cooldown after you use the Scrapyard button. Bruh. Since Geraldo was extremely busted at this time, late game was pretty much free low, and just like that, a second 1TC was born. This 1TC was a lot easier to pull off than Sauda, as there was a little less micro. Of course, Geraldo immediately got his balls kicked in the next update. Will there be another 1TC? Probably not. No normal tower can do 1TC. The towers that are powerful enough to handle chimps on their own aren't cheap, so pretty much it's up to Ninja Kiwi to balance their new heroes, because heroes are the only tower that can possibly be busted enough to do 1TC. Hold on, wait, Bloons just got an update. The Goku monkey!